Google Ad Reps will ruin your Google Ads. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 big suggestions that these Google Ad account strategists will tell you to implement for your Google Ad account, which will result in you most likely wasting a lot of money for very little return. So make sure you also stay through to the end of the video, because I also throw in a bonus one as well, which you've got to watch out for. If you like this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe. Let's go do this. Okay, most people don't realize that these Google Ad account reps or account strategists are actually salespeople, and therefore you need to take their advice with a grain of salt, because often their suggestions are not in the best interest for your business and for you really generating results. So you need to understand that. All right, so the first suggestion they're most likely going to tell you on the phone is to implement what's called a Performance Max campaign strategy. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of Performance Max. To give you a brief overview, it's essentially a completely automated campaign which puts your ads across the entire Google Ad ecosystem. That is shopping, search, display, YouTube, Gmail, discovery, etc. But for most types of businesses, it's not really relevant to have your ad on all those areas of the Google Ad platform. For a local dental practice, they don't need to be running YouTube ads, they don't need a display campaign, etc. They just need a really targeted search campaign. So Performance Max is definitely not a one-size-fits-all campaign for all businesses like Google reps are making it out to be. The only time I would even remotely consider implementing a Performance Max campaign would be for an e-commerce store, and even then I want to show you real quick in a live account comparing the Performance Max campaign to standard search, and you'll see just how different the performance is, and it's a bit of a no-brainer which one you could do. So if I show you real quick in this account, as you can see here, I've got a long time frame here. I've got 2 years worth of data. And here is the Performance Max campaign first. And the metric that we all know that we really judge the success of e-commerce stores by is the ROAS, the return on ad spend. So here you can see the Performance Max campaign has a ROAS of 2.3. This particular shopping campaign, yes, it is not doing as well, but literally all the other ones have a higher ROAS, which, is therefore far superior. And it's not like they haven't generated many conversion events either. So often a standard shopping campaign or normal search campaigns will perform better than Performance Max. The problem with Performance Max is because they're completely automated, they're very opaque. They don't really tell you where you're spending your money and ultimately how you can prevent that wasted ad spend and therefore control your costs more. And Google's making enough money, thank you very much. So you want to be able to control your ad spend and make sure you're spending on the right things and not wasting money on the wrong things. One last thing on Performance Max, it also includes brand traffic. So therefore those ROAS numbers are actually higher than what they are, and they also kill your other search campaigns. I actually have a video on the 5 things that Google won't tell you about Performance Max. I'll put a link in the description of this video, so definitely check it out once you finish this video, because I think it'll really educate yourself to the possible pitfalls of Performance Max. Okay, the second suggestion that Google will tell you, which most likely will not help your Google Ad account, is to implement what's called broad match keywords. If you're unfamiliar with the keyword match types for a search campaign, I'll also put a link in the description to that video which explains the different match types. But essentially, the broad match type, which has no syntax around whatever keyword you're selecting, will mean your ad will show up for all sorts of things that are really loosely related to that keyword. So there is a difference between the keyword that you bid on and the search term that your ad actually shows up for. So you've got to be really careful when you implement broad match, because your ad will show up for all sorts of things. If I show you real quick in this live Google Ad account, as you can see here, I was running Google Ads for our retargeting course, which we sell on teachtraffic.com. And you can see here we were bidding on a mix of phrase and broad match, and I really did this just to test it, so I had some data. And as you can see, the broad match type keyword here, this one that I've selected, our cost per conversion was ridiculously high, and we also got a lot of impressions and really just underperforming in general. So if you do try broad match, the only time I would even remotely consider experimenting with it is if your other keywords have low search volume and so you're kind of struggling to get enough traffic, or if you're really, really careful with adding negative keywords meticulously on a regular basis. The third suggestion Google Ad reps will tell you, which are not in your best interest, is to improve the ad strength of your Google search ads. If I show you what I mean real quick in this live account, so here you can see I've gone to my text ad of my retargeting campaign that I was running, and you can see that the ad strength here says poor. Google reps will tell you, oh, you need to do all these things to improve your ad strength so that it's excellent. Obviously, there are suggestions here on how we can improve our ad strength by adding more headlines, including popular keywords in my headlines, making my headlines more unique. So this is obviously the areas which are deficient. However, in my experience, when you add in all the possible headlines, of which you can add in up to 15, so you can see 4 out of 15, the problem with doing that is that the ad itself, when you can see here on the preview, the ad doesn't read very well. When you add in 15 different headlines, you need to make them, unique and different. So therefore, when Google are mixing and matching all the 15 different headlines, often it doesn't read, it doesn't really kind of make sense. So I actually find, yes, I get what's called a poor ad strength by not having the full available headlines that I can add. Obviously, I need a minimum of 3. But by having less, I actually ensure that my ad copy reads well. It's saying what I want it to say. I even often pin headlines as well. And then I get a good click-through rate and conversion rate because people are actually clicking on my ads. It does not affect the performance of your ads. So don't worry if it says an alert to that it's going to decrease the performance. In my experience and the hundreds of accounts that I've looked at, it does not affect the performance. Google will not tell you this. So definitely don't listen to that suggestion that they have. And lastly, the bonus tip I have, which is really, really important, is that Google reps will tell you to turn on auto apply recommendations. Please do not do this. This is essentially you giving permission to Google to automatically make changes in your account that you don't approve. So for example, here, I have mine already turned off, but if we click on this, by default, these come all checked. So this is really your way of telling Google that you want to expand the reach with search partners. You want to remove redundant keywords. Used optimized targeting. No, Google, you don't want to do that. If we go down here, that it will add new keywords, it will add broad match keywords, which we just explained are not right for you. Display expansion, so that's going beyond the targeting of your display campaign. Changing bid strategy, the list goes on. So really, please do not enable these auto apply recommendations. They are going to make a whole bunch of changes to your account that are really not in your best interest for your business, will waste a whole lot of money, and I hate to see that happen to you. So definitely do not do that. So there you have it. Those are the suggestions or lies that I like to say Google Ad reps will tell you to implement in your account, which I do not recommend you do, or at least really think about whether it's right for your business and your business goals. If you like this video, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe, and maybe even check out my website, teachtraffic.com, and you can check out some of our courses there. Thanks so much for watching.